United States and Israel's war on Iran is exposing deep divisions inside Europe's far-right political movement. These are groups that are often seen as politically aligned. Some are strongly backing the war, others are warning against it. And the split reveals something important about how these parties view the world. In one camp are politicians who see the conflict as part of a broader fight against Iran. In the United Kingdom, Nigel Farage, the founder of the hard-right Reform UK party, has openly supported the military campaign. In a post on X, Farage urged Prime Minister Keir Starmer to back Washington, calling the conflict a vital fight against Iran. At the same time, Farage also said that any refugees fleeing the war should remain in the Middle East and not be allowed to Britain.
Well, if there are refugees leaving Iran, they will be housed in the Middle East. We can't take any more refugees from these conflicts. We simply can't. And if we help get a much better regime in place than the theocrats and extremists that have been there for 47 years, what you would actually see is a lot of people living in Britain who came from Iran originally would go back.
Do you think they should be forced to go back?
No, I'm not suggesting that. I mean, there are Persians here who came from 1979, from the time when the mullahs took over. And I know many of those people that I've met would love to go back to their home country, but away from the barbarity of this regime.
Tommy Robinson, a prominent Islamophobic activist and strong supporter of Israel, has enthusiastically backed the war. In Spain, the far-right Vox party has taken a similar stance. The party criticized Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez after he condemned the war as an unjustified and dangerous military intervention. But not everyone on the far-right agrees. In Germany, Alternative for Germany or AfD has taken a far more cautious position. Party co-leader Tino Shorapala warned that US President Donald Trump risks becoming a president of war. Another AfD figure, Markus Frohnmayer, said the conflict needs to be viewed more carefully and warned that Germany could face new migration pressures if the war expands. Paul Golding, leader of the far-right Britain First Party, has taken the opposite view. Writing on X, he said, "Not our fight, not our war, put Britain first." Other far-right figures appear to be trying to avoid taking a clear position. In France, Marine Le Pen, leader of the National Ready, has taken a cautious tone. Earlier this year, she criticized US intervention in Venezuela, arguing that state sovereignty should never be violated. But after the Iran war began, she said she found nothing shocking about France sending an aircraft carrier to the Mediterranean as tensions rise. This disagreement reflects a long-standing contradiction within the European far-right. Many of these parties share similar positions on issues like immigration and national identity, but their foreign policy views differ sharply, especially when it comes to the United States. In countries like Germany and France, some far-right groups have historically been suspicious of American influence. In others, particularly where Cold War's politics shape national identity, the United States is often seen as a strategic ally. The difference is now resurfacing over Iran, and this is not the first time the European far-right has fractured over global conflicts. A similar split appeared after Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022, when some parties backed Kiev while others sympathized with Moscow. These disagreements often reflect geopolitical alliances rather than shared ideology. Some far-right parties maintain closer relationships with Washington or Israel, while others have stronger ties to Russia, which itself has relations with Iran. The war could also become a domestic political issue. In the UK, for example, Farage's Reform UK party currently leads national opinion polls, but polling suggests many of its voters are less enthusiastic about the war. A March 2026 YouGov survey found that only 28% of Reform UK supporters strongly back US military action against Iran. Politicians who appear too closely aligned with Donald Trump could face political backlash in Europe. Even when the war becomes part of political debates, it will likely be reframed around domestic concerns. In many European countries, the focus will return to migration and refugee flows. For example, researchers say that in Sweden's upcoming elections, the war may be discussed mainly in terms of whether it could trigger new waves of refugees entering Europe. So while Europe's far-right parties often appear united on issues like immigration and nationalism, the war in Iran is revealing their deeper differences. For some, the conflict is about supporting allies and confronting Iran. For others, it is a foreign war that risks instability and migration pressures at home. And that divide may shape how the war plays out in European politics in the months ahead.